Hello, everyone. If this video makes it up, this video is going to be inspired. I'm really bad at shuffling. Can y'all even see? This video was going to be inspired by Chad Tarot and his old school carpet style reads. Oh, I forgot to flip. Oof, I thought the dog got out for a second. Justice in reverse. I forgot to flip this card over. So I'm coming back. I don't even know how much space I have. It's not exactly the same, as you can tell. I'm recording this on my iPad because my mom has a tripod, but I don't know where it is. And I ain't got no fancy tech. But no one's here except me, my little brother who's sleeping, and the dog. And so there's all this carpet. And I was like, well, let's take it all the way back. Wow, with the star and the lovers. Y'all see that? Oh, there it is. With the star and the lovers. Let's take it back to my dude, Chad. Way, 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 way back in the day. Three of Pentacles, or Three of Wands, and the lovers again. This time in reverse. Yeah, and there's no format. If it resonates, it resonates. This isn't intended to necessarily. I just wanted to give a little throwback to my dude. So we'll do one more cut. Take the energies on the bottom. Ten of Wands in reverse. Letting go of all of those burdens. Okay, we'll do that here. And like I said, it'll be inspired. So we start with the Death card. Let me see how much room I have. Not that y'all can even see that anymore. So yeah, let's move this back down. I'm sorry, my dude. My setup is not legit. But I wanted to do this. So we start with the Death card, which is definitely Scorpionic energy. I believe the moon is still in Scorpio right now. I'm going to check real quick. But it speaks to the energy of major transformation. And with this being a dead bird, I'm almost seeing it as the bird being revived. It's learning how to fly again. It's finding your wings after you thought that they were clipped or snipped, or you didn't even know you had wings. Maybe you thought you were like some kind of weird penguin looking thing that's like not a penguin, but you're flightless for some reason. Let's see. And at the time of recording, I'm on the Time Nomad app. And the moon is still in Scorpio, 15 degrees. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, right there. Moon, Scorpio, 15 degrees. So the moon is still in Scorpio. So maybe there is some kind of emotional transformation. Well, all transformations involve emotions, but I'm getting a sense of a major emotional transformation. And with the Magician, starting out with the majors, I love it. I just heard the floor creak as if someone were here. But with the Magician right there, it's like, you know, this transformation maybe is something from the past, because left is typically the past direction. And then with the Magician looking off into the future, realizing that it's either had all of the tools inside of it this whole time, or that, yeah, if I do that, you can kind of see a little bit. Realizing that either it's had the tools this whole time, or that through the past hardships, it's gained and garnered. I don't know why I wanted to say garnered. The tools it needs to move forward successfully into the future. With the Sun card, oh my gosh, and it's upright. I love these majors coming out upright. The Magician looking forward to brighter days and having the tools and the wherewithal and the know-how to know that those brighter days are no longer a dream. Because of what this transformation, because someone is getting their wings back, because someone remembers that they can fly, it's like not only are you dreaming about these things, not only can you see it as a possibility, with that Magician there, you're now working to make it a possibility. With the Four of Wands, with the Four of Swords, it's like, you know, sitting pretty. And look at the sun right there on the third eye. It's following that vision. It's knowing that that vision will come to pass. It's not freaking out about it. This is a trust. I'm getting heavy trust energies. It's a trust that everything that is meant to happen will happen. There are 4 swords in this. There are 4 tools in the magician's tool belt, each suit. So I think it's like coming into an understanding of mastery. It's coming into a self mastery. It's knowing yourself. It's knowing what works for you. It's knowing sort of like your own pitfalls, your own traps, your own darkness, and your own light and strength and um, contacts to victory. Where it's like you can balance these out yourself and you know what you need to do, you know what you want to do. And it's all about doing that, but not doing it in a balanced way. With the King of Wands right here. With the snake, I'm getting more like change, like molting. Someone has molted. And notice that the king is looking in the same direction as the magician. And it's very like it's operating in your power and it's standing in your power. But like, look at this snake. This snake is just chilling next to its wand. The wand under the magician. Oh my gosh. This snake is just chilling. It's not on the attack mode. Like, the snake is venomous. Cobras are deadly, I believe. But it's like it doesn't have to be right now because it's mastered itself. Maybe in the past with this death card up here, maybe in the past there was this strength in and from darkness that had to be utilized more. And it's almost like you had to be venomous. You had to be on the attack. You had to be on the prowl to really protect yourself with this lamb here, because lambs are like A1 prey, right? Like lambs and sheep, like now we have them domesticated, but if you throw a sheep out in the wild, like that thing might get towed up. And that maybe that's also a part of the peace you're finding, is that as you come into your own power, as you come into your own strength, you don't have to overexert. You don't have to do more than what is necessary. You can do less and still get the point across. You can do less and still be at peace. And with the Two of Wands in reverse, I'm getting this. It's a sense of like this thing is a long time coming. Because I'm getting it like I'm feeling like it's coming from the past and expanding out into the future and like getting wider and expanding out. So this thing is a long time coming. And it's like this journey, since this is in reverse, we start with the root at the bottom and the crown at the top. So it's very progressive. It's a path that you were always meant to be on. There are lessons to be learned from the darkness. There's strength to be gained from the experiences that you've gone through. And it's time to take the lessons from them to learn how to temper your strength. That's one thing that I've been noticing in someone in particular. And then in another person, she's kind of been like just in that mode. But in one person in particular, it's like there's a strength there that is also tempered, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to shuffle these up and then do one more row on top. I'll do a row of 3, and then I think I'll end it there. This isn't going to be a complete read. This is like a piece of the picture. But there's this tempered strength energy where it's like, I am... Actually, there's a few people, now that I think about it. There's someone else who's also been in this space where, like, you don't have to pop off. You don't have to go off every single time someone does something. Every time... Oh, my gosh, these will not shuffle. Every time someone speaks your name, it doesn't warrant a reaction, right? Especially if it's going to call you out of a new piece that you've discovered, created for yourself, and that you've discovered and you created for yourself. A new mindset, a new mentality, a new understanding of the way that things work. I felt okay with the Son of Pentacles in reverse and the Father of Swords upright. I feel like that's the energy of like knowing within yourself that you are strong and that you are powerful. And with the Son of Pentacles, it's like, even if someone talks bad against you, or even if misfortune falls upon you, in the earthly, in the physical, in the everyday, in the 3D. You don't have to come out of that Father of Swords energy. You don't have to belittle and devalue yourself and what you want to build by coming out of your character. No, that's not, like I said, it's a tempered strength though. So you do speak up for yourself and you don't, like, I'm not saying you have to get ran over and be a doormat, but it's tempered. It's like you give enough strength or you give the amount that is appropriate so you don't overly blow up. With the Ace of Pentacles at the bottom, I love it. Oh, and then the Sun of Swords right there where we saw the Father. Yeah, it's time to build something new. It's time to take all of these tools, like I said, right? All of these tools, this tempered strength, it's metering. It's a metering with temperance, right? You can't see my hands. But it's like it's giving what is appropriate to the situation. And you're giving with the knowledge and the knowing and an understanding of who you are on the inside, of where you are, and of like what you will and won't tolerate. And you can speak on things that you won't tolerate in a way that doesn't bring you out of yourself. I feel like I just repeated myself a bunch, but with the Four of Wands in reverse. So maybe this is something that if you're watching this and if it's resonating, and it probably will be because, you know, smaller channel. But I feel like that's the energy of something that's already been celebrated. I feel like it's the energy of you knowing within yourself that you've come across this milestone, you sensing and feeling the growth within yourself, but with it also being in reverse, I'm getting a sense and a feeling of like other people still testing you, of other people still trying you, of situations still coming at you. With this sitting in between death and the Four of Swords, 4-4 death, it's like you've changed with the sheep with the sun on its third eye. You know you've changed. And your environment is going through a process of change to match the internal change. And that's sometimes a test is so that we can externalize and bring forth the things that we've internalized. It's to bring the outside world into alignment with the inside world. And that's why sometimes when we behave out of our character, we might feel bad. And some of those feelings of guilt and shame is all societal. But I feel like, you know, there are situations that we come upon where we're like, wow, I really could have handled that differently. And it's not to beat ourselves up. It's just to, in a way, show ourselves how we've grown, how we want to grow, where we want to go. But to also keep in mind that when we externalize that and to bring that into our life more fully, it is going to require us to stand in this power, right? This tempered strength. It's going to require that tempered strength. You can't go off every single time, because if you go off every single time, the triggers are still going to have that power off over you. With the Ace of Swords, it's all about sticking to that internal truth. And I love this because we get like this rainbow bolt right here. And then with the rainbow snake, oh my gosh. The Ace of Swords in between the King of Wands and the Magician, it's like it's a realization, it's a new truth, it's a new power, it's a new strength, it's an increased clarity, and it's a desire for a complete and total change. And for that to happen, some things are going to have to be cut out, some sacrifices are going to have to be made, some tact is going to have to be employed. And it's like you can't you are the person who has gone through this dramatic transformation, who is putting forth the manifestation and putting in the work to bring this dream, this light, this happiness into your reality. But other people haven't necessarily done the same. So going back to the temperance and the analogy of metering, it's like not everyone is going to be able to accept your full truth. And you can't push your full truth onto everyone or anyone, really. So it's like It's not knowing what you can and what you can't say, but it's knowing that without the work done and the healing done and the realizations that you've had, like there is a certain amount of work and healing and realization and clarity that has to be gained to fully understand this new you, this new perspective. And some people might see it almost as if it happened overnight, but it didn't. Like you, it did not happen overnight. It's most definitely been a process. Um, but they don't see all of the internal work. Even people who have been, who you might live with, who might be in your everyday, even people who see you every day, there's like been this gradual change that they might have seen, but it's almost like all of a sudden you're this completely new person. And with the death looking in the past and the magician looking in the future, it's almost as if you are. It's not almost as if you are, it's like you are. You are a completely different person. You've gotten this clarity. You've come into your own strength. You know that you don't have to be a victim to your circumstance or where you come from. You know that you can build and grow and tap into that energy of your own abundance. I feel like there's also a bit of your own intuitive guidance that you're coming into where you're learning to trust the universe, trust the signs. You're learning to feel when you're heading in the right direction, when you're making the right moves, because the universe will validate that for you. The universe is constantly validating you, constantly. So if you're in a bad space, then you're going to constantly get that bad feedback coming back. If you're in a good space, you're going to get that good feedback coming back. And part of it is the way that the world works. But another part of it is where we give our focus and our attention. When we are more pessimistic, we give our focus and attention to the things that keep us in that pessimistic mindset, that mindset of, oh, things never work out. Even when I get a little bit of something good, something else comes to like take it away. It's that one step forward, two steps back mentality. But when you're more optimistically focused, you see the better. You go for the better. You continue to work hard. If those same pessimistic one step forward, two steps back moments become challenges to overcome, become, or just minimized. They don't take up all of your focus, so they don't impact you as much. And so it's this twofold manifestation, validation thing that's going on that you're realizing, and you're knowing that for all of the people in your life, like we're all in our separate paths. And while they may not celebrate and while they may not see it, it's up for you to know and to stand in your own knowing in a way that isn't necessarily contentious with other people. Because this is an internal insight. This is a you thing. And so not everyone is going to see and agree with that. And with the is this eight or seven? Seven of Wands in reverse. More fire energies. There's so much fire in this. I love it though, because I'm also coming into fire. We have that sitting in between the sun and the two of wands. And so I feel like that speaks to everything I was just saying. Um, it's like you've gotten this new light. You're now standing out. And it's almost like the darkness around you is trying to swarm in and attack this light. And that's where this Ace of Swords clarity, that's where that tempered strength comes in. It's a strength to stand alone and to not necessarily make waves. Like you can make waves if you want to. Oh wow, there's 11 wands in reverse here between the 4 and the 7. That's 11 wands in reverse with one sword upright. And then the 10 of wands in reverse was your overall, right? So 10 of wands is like the Ace of wands in reverse. It's like wanting something new, blah, blah, blah. And then the 11 of wands would be like the 2 of wands in reverse numerology. If we break it down, 11 is a master number, but we're going to break it down. And it's represented here. And it also goes back to that. It's like all of these people from the past with the two, if I can line this out, yes, all these people from the past that you're sort of, you've ascended, right? We go from red to purple, from root to crown. You've ascended, and it's like you're leaving them behind in a way because they just don't get it. They don't understand. And maybe this is more of an energy of leading by example. This is more of an energy of leading by example. This isn't something that you necessarily have to preach. The Seven of Wands is a Leo energy, with the Ten of Wands being the Sagittarius energy. Sagittarius being the preacher. I thought I just heard like whispers. With the Ten of Wands, it is windy outside, so maybe that's why. But with the Ten of Wands being the Sagittarius energy in reverse, it's like this is something that you can't preach to people. This is something that you have to live and allow your light to bring forth those who also want that same change. And then if people come to you asking you, wow, man, it seems like you've changed overnight. Like, girl, what you doing over there? Like, you looking good. You're glowing. You're happy. Like, if those people come to you, then you can tell them, okay, this is what I've been doing. This is my journey. Excuse me. You can go on your own journey, find your own tools, make your own way. But it's not something that you push upon other people because they're not going to get it, and then they're going to bounce back and retaliate out of that darkness. They're going to feel challenged and they're going to feel attacked because darkness is like the energy of insecurity. Like, it doesn't want to be chased out. Like, the dark wants to swallow the light, and the light wants to illuminate the dark, and that's sort of the game that they play, right? But if someone isn't in a space where they want to play the game or where they're willing to play the game, it's like you're trying to light something that won't kindle. And you can do it, you can try it. Like, I feel like, like I've said, where if this is resonating, maybe you're supposed to be more of an example. You're supposed to let the fruits of your labors speak more to what you've been through, more so than your words. Because that's what people see, and that's what people will want, and that's what people will resonate with. I'm getting a feeling I'm going to pull this down. I don't know why I want to put this on top. Oh, with the Mother of Wands in reverse, mirroring the Father of Wands, because the Father of Wands is upright right under her. It's get into your bad energy, like be that person that other people want to be, and then some people will come to you, and some people will want to do what you're doing. Other people will think that, oh, like, and this is gonna blow your mind once you reach that point. But other people are going to be like, oh, wow, this person was so fortunate. This person was blessed. They're almost born with a silver spoon in their mouth, and they've never gone through anything difficult or hard or challenging in their life. Since they were young, that's how they're able to be this mighty snake today. And it's like, no, like, you see this wand? I face my own darkness. I face challenges. I face hardship just like everybody else, but I chose to not be a victim to it. I chose to grow and to change as I hatched and as I matured through my experiences. I chose to no longer be bound by all of the things that were put upon me. Because it's not our journey to be bound. Truly, it's not our call to be bound. That's why they say, each generation is supposed to do better than the last. But how do we make that happen when all we have to teach the next generation really is what was instilled into us? And so now I'm getting like the energy of a quantum leap, especially with this Two of Wands in reverse right here. So many wands. But it's a quantum leap. It's like, these are duck eggs. You were born to be a duck. Not even a duck. What's a born to be a chicken? You're born to be a chicken, but then you become a snake. And I use chicken because the lamb is right here, right? That prey animal. You're born to be a chicken, born to be something eaten, something domesticated, something that people can use for all kinds of things. or that's what people think that you were born to be because that's maybe where they came from, or that's just how they see things. But you made a decision. We all get to make the decision of who we are when we grow up, or who we become when we grow up. And you've made the decision to become something that isn't prey. You made the decision with this wand here to come into your own power. You've made the decision with the dark wand to master your own darkness and to temper that and to meter that and to know when and where it's appropriate, right? Because there are going to be times where you have to defend yourself, where you have to defend others, be that with word or action. I ain't talking about killing people, but don't get beat up. But there are going to be times where like stuff like that is necessary. There's also times where light is necessary. It's like that teacher energy of knowing with the light you have to teach, and with the dark comes the test. And so you don't want to just teach and never test or quiz or evaluate where your students are, because then you're not going to know if they're actually getting it or not. That can be like Ace of Swords in reverse, maybe information overload, and you don't know what to keep, what to dump. You just can't process it all. And with the dark, like you don't want to test, or you don't want to test on things that you haven't taught, because then no one is going to perform well. So there's the balancing and the metering of teaching and testing. I think that's a big theme. Is balancing, is metering. It's going for the light within yourself and having an understanding of what you need to do to get there. And if you don't have that understanding of what you need to do, it's being in a space where you can be guided to get where you need to be, being in a space where you're receptive to the guidance that is intuitive and internal to you, that is specific for you and your situation, where you can see the signs. It's being in a space of not needing to convince other people, because it's not going to happen, and it'll honestly only distract you from where you're going if you take time to do that. Now, like I said, there are going to be people in your environment who are going to be that constant sort of in your face type of energy, but it's a metered strength in those cases. Like you don't have to go all the way off on them, because they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand. But it's, there's also a strength in that as well. Metered is the part where you don't go all the way there, because they're not going to get it. They're not going to understand. Strength is the part where you still stick up for yourself and you still stand up for yourself. And I don't know how you're going to do this, honestly, but it'll be something that you come into. And yeah, technically temperance didn't pop out. But with this Ten of Wands being in reverse, that is Sagittarian energy. And Sagittarius is temperance. So I kind of want to see, first card on the top is the Eight of Cups in reverse. Walking away from all the pain and heartache. First card on the bottom is the Sun of Swords. We already knew that. Now in reverse. And I kind of want to get, no, this is enough. I'll put these here. So this is walking away from the past, leaving broken glasses broken, not trying to go back and fix it. Sun of Swords in reverse. It's like you aren't even really at a point where you can effectively communicate everything that this person would need to hear to believe you. Not that we have to convince anyone to believe us, but that's what I'm getting. It's like the things that can't even be communicated. And with the Sun here, like you will be arguing until you're blue in the face, and neither person. With the Daughter of Pentacles in reverse. What's that? With the Strength card? Oh snap! I'll take both of them. I only wanted one, but hey, I can't pass up on Strength. So with these two together, Daughter of Pentacles and Strength, I'm getting, because, Pentacles is Earth, that's family. It's like people, maybe your family, that you can't, it's just like they're not there yet. With the Daughter in reverse, like not only are they not there, they might not even get there. And it's like, you know, build your own pinnacles, stack your own pinnacles. With this up here, let your example be the teacher. And then once your example is there, let them come to you. Now I wanted to grab one more to finish this, like do, 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 you know? And it's perfect because I think that's 10. 3, 6, 8. No, that's only 8. I'm done. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave this. I'm going to lift this up so you can kind of sort of see all of it. And best of luck.